Good day, gamers. Swingpin back with another Bedwars video. Today, I'm going to be breaking down 3 strategies that, if used correctly, will absolutely win you more Bedwars games. Now, these strategies are mostly focused on solo and doubles Bedwars, but they can definitely be used across all Bedwars modes because they are designed to help you level up your Bedwars game without having to learn any new mechanical skills. These tips can be used by players of all skill levels and can start helping you win more games today. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the very beginning of your game. I believe that the first 90 seconds of a Bed Wars match are by far the most important. Your first rush of every game will either set you up to win or put you in a very big hole for the rest of the game. It is critical that you perfect your first rush strategy. This strategy needs to be tailored to your own skill level and designed to maximize whatever skill set you have. One thing that is true regardless of Bed Wars skill is that you need to attack your enemy as soon as possible. Any time you spend on your base at the beginning of the game is time that your opponent will spend attacking you and getting stronger. This includes the time you spend putting down an elaborate bed defense. Attacking your opponent's base is a far better way to protect your bed than any bed defense you can make in the first 2 minutes of the game. Even if the enemy kills you when you attack their bed, the fact that you fought on their base instead of your own will give you another shot at winning the battle. If you allow this first fight to take place on your own base, you only have one chance to win. There is no room for error at all. So be aggressive and try to be the one that starts the first rush fight. The second thing I want to say about the beginning of the game is that you need to be smart about how you use your resources. You have very limited iron and gold to start, and how you utilize them will determine who wins the first rush. I personally don't think spending a large number of valuable resources on your bed defense is a very good strategy. You should never use wood on your bed defense in the early game, not because it isn't a strong defense, but because your gold can be used for much stronger items. A set of wood blocks costs the same as TNT, more than a gapple, and a third as much as permanent iron armor. The wood will only slow your opponent down a few seconds, but these other items can be used to break their bed and knock them out of the game. All of your resources should be used to win your first rush. Don't let them sit around your bed and do nothing for you. My second tip that will win you more Bed Wars games is one of the most important aspects of Bed Wars PvP. While playing Bed Wars, you should always be focusing on getting high ground over your opponents. Having high ground gives you a massive advantage in virtually every situation in Bed Wars. Being above your enemy gives you more options and puts them in a tough spot. Having high ground allows you to drop on your opponents, get around them, drop TNT on their bed defenses, and many other things that will help you secure more wins. Getting above your enemy should be your top priority whenever you engage in a fight. Although great bridging skills will help you get higher more quickly, they are not needed to accomplish the goal of getting high ground. If you are a slower bridger, you just need to start building up earlier than your opponent does. As soon as you realize that a fight is going to happen, start working to gain height. I cannot express how important it is to have the high ground advantage in Bed Wars. Another aspect of maintaining high ground comes down to how you build your bridges. You should build your bridges in a way that allows you to gain height quickly and is easy for you to climb in the future. You are probably going to die at some point, so having a bridge that puts you in a good spot to fight quickly is key. Also, you should never, I repeat, never build a flat bridge out of your base. Instead, make sure that your bridge is at least 5 to 6 blocks in the air, as this will allow you to leave your base with a built-in high ground advantage and will make it much more difficult for your opponents to enter your base. A flat bridge into your base is the best way to lose your bed. That brings me to my third and final tip of the video, which is all about using your brain to maximize your chance to win a Bed Wars game. One of the most important things you can do to win more games is pick the teams you attack intelligently. Like I said earlier, you need to attack your first rush immediately. Most maps have a well-established way to rush, which you can figure out just by observing the way the majority of players go. After you win your first rush, it is incredibly important that you attack another team and that you choose the right team to attack. Your second rush should target the team that is the biggest threat to you. Typically, this will be the team that's next to you. Most players will choose to attack bases close to them, which means clearing out the bases around you is a pretty solid plan. This isn't always the best way to go, though. If you notice that a team closest to you is still fighting their first rush or not leaving their base at all, they may not be your biggest threat. If you notice that someone knocked out their first rush really quickly, or that a team decided to try and collect emeralds from mid, it may be better to attack them. This is all about identifying who the biggest threat to your game is and trying to knock them out. Here's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. So this is right after I won my first rush, and now I'm ready to move into my second rush. So I noticed straight ahead of me, blue and green are still fighting their first rush fight and both have their beds, so I really don't have to worry about them attacking me. And I also noticed that pink has already knocked out white and is ready to start moving for their second attack, which very well might be me. So I start heading over to pink, and when I get there, he is defending his bridge. So what do I want to do? I want to get high ground. So I start building up. He decides he's going to fireball me, but I'm still able to stay on the bridge and still get above him, and here high ground keeps me safe. He's not able to hit me, so I bridge over to their base and try to knock out their bed. So So I throw a fireball at the front of the bed defense, break the bed, and I'm able to knock him out here in PvP, eliminating a threat and letting me move farther into the game safely. The last thing I will say about picking your targets intelligently is that you should be very careful about who you anger in a Bed Wars game. You shouldn't make more than one team mad at a time, because even the best players in the world will struggle with a 2v1 situation. Pick your target and only fight them until you've knocked them out of the game. Also, make sure you are not doing anything that may accidentally make a random team target you. If you run too close to another base, steal diamonds from a gen that is controlled by another team, or get caught collecting M's in mid, you are very likely to be identified as a threat and get targeted. Be careful that you don't come off as an aggressor to any team other than the one you decided to fight. This will help make sure you don't get sandwiched by two teams at once. So those are 3 strategies that will absolutely help you win more Bed Wars games immediately. If you want to see more helpful Bed Wars tips like these in the future, please subscribe to the channel. I have plans for a lot more content just like this coming up and would love to help you all get better at Bed Wars. Thank you all for watching, and I will see ya.